Right now, I have Curtis Ellis. He's a former senior policy advisor to President Trump. He's also the current policy director with America First. Curtis, good to see you again. I'd love for you to weigh in, if you could, just on what you heard from the professor there, Mr. Dershowitz, talking about Bolton's book possibly containing classified information and what could possibly happen come next week when that book comes out.
Well, Professor Dershowitz has a very good insight on the legal aspects of this. There's another aspect to this which goes beyond legal. It's not a matter of just what's legal, it's what's moral and what's right. John Bolton was very privileged to be able to serve this president. And I'm just tired of these people who are looking to exploit their privileges of public service for their own private enrichment. I mean, really, he may have the perfect right to publish a book, but that doesn't mean he should be disclosing his confidential conversations with the president. Those are classified. But beyond the legal aspects of this, it's a matter of careerism. We have too many people in the White House and in government who serve there simply in order to burnish their credentials so that they can then get high-paid jobs on K Street or as defense contractors or something like that. And it's really, I tell you, John Bolton, his foreign policy can be summed up in two words: bomb everyone. And he really shouldn't have been serving in this White House anyway, because President Trump has campaigned and is totally against these endless wars, most of which John Bolton would like to expand beyond eternity. So I have no sympathy for John Bolton. He may have a legal leg to stand on, but he really should not be doing this book. It's just he's out to destroy President Trump because they disagree on policies.
Jenny Beth Martin's joining us live now, part of our panel. Good to see you. We just had Alan Dershowitz on the program here discussing John Bolton's book here. He's saying, look, they won't enforce executive privilege in this specific case. What are your thoughts on Bolton's book and what's happening with this, with the DOJ suing?
Well, the DOJ has to protect the best interest of the United States and our national security, and that's what they're trying to do. I think that John Bolton's book, the timing of it, the entire thing just gives the appearance of him looking out for John Bolton and his own personal agenda rather than what's best for America. If he had information that that would have been relevant in the impeachment inquiry, he could have dealt with that back then. He chose not to. Instead, he chose to release a book. And it seems like all he cares about is John Bolton.
Yeah, the timing of it all is interesting, too. It's finally coming out, and now you're like, wait, we've got coronavirus and all other kinds of things we're dealing with now at this time, but here it is. Curtis, Jenny, Beth Martin, thank you, guys. Stick around. We're going to have you back. All right, coming up, the so-called leader of Chaz, or CHOP, in Seattle is handing out AR-15s from the back of his Tesla. We showed you about this, but the governor of Washington, he says he's not concerned. We'll talk about that. And then there seems to be some confusion on how to handle the Second Amendment. How will the Supreme Court work this out? We'll have more when National Report returns.
Attention seniors.